We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more.
I'm Steve and Jack Butala.
and I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show. Land Academy is the place to go for the education, tools, and support you need to start or grow your land investment business.
Today, Jill and I are talking about why using your own money for land deals might be slowing you down. I have to tell you, of all the things I wish I had in the early 90s before land flipping was even a thing at all, I wish I had this. This is at the top of the list for me.
More money? Other people's
Just
money.
Available capital.
Yeah.
Without trying to explain myself over and over and over again. There's just a built-in, we just have a built-in community of people who want to partnership deals.
You know, thank you. You just added another thing. I have like 3 points I want to make, and then now I have a 2B point to make, because that's good.
Further in the episode here, we'll break it down. We'll break down how a deal works. I think it might be, if you're really new at this, intimidating, but it's not. The real reason it's not intimidating is because people in our group are dying to lend you money.
They don't.
Partnership with you.
Isn't that funny? People don't come forward as much as I think they should, and I don't understand that. But I think you're right. I think they're like, what if it's not good enough? What if they don't like this? What if, I don't know. What if I miss something? Whatever it is, we're going to talk all about that.
I just think there's some mystery that's surrounding it, and it's just like anything else. You need to do anything well, you have to establish some element of confidence in it.
I think sometimes people just don't believe it's true.
Yeah.
And right. We'll tell you why.
Yeah. I mean, this is not a no money down, middle of the night
infomercial.
Yeah, I wonder if any people who are not young, under 30, know what an infomercial is. If you don't know what an infomercial is,
wait.
You're
getting it on
nothing.
TikTok. No, trust me. You know what? You're every day you open Instagram and TikTok, you're getting an infomercial. We just had them on good old-fashioned TV with rabbit ears.
Hey, Jill and I are in...
Don't say the age.
We're in San Diego.
We are in our blank.
In San Diego on our sailboat, where we spend most of our time now. And
thanks to this.
Yeah.
Thanks to using other people's money.
Since for as long as I can remember, I've been saying I just want to buy and sell land on the back of a boat. And so for the last almost year, well, probably 6 months now, that's what we're doing.
6 months feels like a year. Yeah. Just kidding.
So let's get into it. Today, like Joe and I are talking about, we're talking about why using your own money for land deals might be slowing you down. So,
I can go first if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
I just want to, can you explain what partnershipping is, just in a real basic way?
Okay. Basically, it's just, you find a deal, it's amazing, you don't have the dough, maybe you didn't even mail for it. This happens too sometimes. So say you didn't plan for this, and you're having a conversation with the seller, and they go, by the way, I know you only, reached out to me for the 5-acre property. Do you want the 40 acres behind it as well? To which your eyes should light up. And at that point, you're going, okay, how can I do this? How can I do this? This is amazing. This guy wants to unload all this stuff. So your mind is racing like, what can I sell? Does my wife need her car that bad? Do my kids need braces that bad? Do I call my dad or my rich uncle? What the heck do I do? This thing's amazing. And you were just going to say, let's skip past, you checked everything. It's a great deal. And now you're staring at it going, where do I come up with this? And the easy answer is another investor's money, because they understand you. Because there's a couple things that's going to happen. I'm going to dive right into it here. So one of the things I wrote down is nice when you use another investor is you have a second pair of eyes. And so let me go back to finishing what we're talking about too. So you reach out to another investor like us. I'm just going to talk real high level here. You share the details, like I mailed for the 5, he came up with the 40 instead of, $5,000. Now we're talking $35,000 for all of it. So it's just such a deal, and it's worth $100. We got to do this. And the other investor is going to look at it with you. You're going to just casually, and they go, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. I'll be the bank. I see it. You're right. You do the work, you know, or however you guys decide up that, you know, when you and the other partner agree to do the deal, at that time you're going to agree who's doing the legwork. All right, you deal with the seller, I'll deal with the bank, or not the bank, I'll deal with escrow. You deal with selling it, you get an agent, blah, 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 divide that up. And then at that point, what you want to do is don't leave it nebulous like that. Don't leave it as a phone conversation. You put it in writing, but it doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out thing. And it doesn't have to be, we're forming an LLC together. This is the first deal we've done together. So it just needs to be a 1 or 2 page agreement, just kind of stating the terms. You're the bank, whose name's going on the deed, what the percentage is going to be, what split you agree upon right then and there. And if there's any time constraints, like, all right, we all agree it's going to sell in 6 months. If it doesn't, here's what happens. Usually it goes back to who put the money up. That's usually what we do. Then our name's on the deed if I'm 100% funding, and then if anything goofs up, I own it. And it goes both ways. And it's insurance for you too, as the finder, because, or we call it the deal manager, because what if something did go wrong? You're not stuck with it. I am. It was my money. I get it. It's okay. And I make sure that doesn't happen, kind of thing. So, and then in the end, you know, I put up the money. You sell it with me. When it's sold, whatever percentage we each agreed upon at close of escrow, you get your percent. I get my initial investment back. I get my percent. And, you know, then we look at each other and go, let's do that again. That's the goal. So back to my points here, and so these are kind of 3 big things. So do you want to jump in, or do you want me to
Look,
keep
in the
going?
simplest
Okay.
form, shortening what Jill just said, and try to take all the mystery out of it, you know, in a soundbite format. There's way more money out there than there are real estate deals.
True.
You are needed. And so in the eyes of a lender mentality, not a lender mentality, but a partner mentality, especially when it comes to a deal specific one like this, they expect they're going to, for every 10 deals they do, you know, 2 of them aren't going to work, 2 of them are going to go really, really well, and there's a bunch of stuff in the middle. I'm trying to remove the stress out of somebody who's presenting a deal. And as far as all the contracts and all the details and stuff go, the partner will they do all this all the time. So you don't have to really worry about that. Your job, your simple job, is to find an amazing real estate deal. And you know how to do that. That's what we do here at Land Academy. All the other stuff is going to fall in place. If it doesn't, reach out to us, reach out to our staff. Make sure you're on the Land Academy Discord, ask 1,000 questions, and you're going to get all the answers you need. It really is nothing like going to get a mortgage or getting debt. It's nothing like that. Somebody's going to contact you, or you're going to contact somebody. They're going to be just like you, and you're going to have a real conversation just like we're having now, and you're going to put the deal together. So it's really simple. Forget about the mechanics. Focus on getting an amazing real estate deal.
One, like a point too, if you're worried, remember you have another pair of eyes. They're putting their eyes on it.
You're not going to partnership it
With
a
a bad
deal.
deal. And they'll tell you. And for those of you listening who have submitted deals to me before that I initially didn't jump right on, you got my feedback. You know, I just looked at one yesterday. It was like 68 active, 20 sold in the last year in the zip code. I said, shoot. I said, I got to tell you, I was really honest. I said, and the average days on market in this zip right now are 100. I said, all right, 100 days on market, 68 active, 20 sold. This would not have passed my red, yellow, green test. I got to tell you right now. Makes me worry if he did, and he's a member, so I'm assuming he did the red, yellow, green test. How bad were the other areas around it? They were probably not that great. So I said, all right, the only way I would even consider something like this, it's got to be stupid cheap. And it was like, I think he wanted to buy it for like, I'm going to say 50 or 60,000. I came back and I'm like, maybe 25, given all these conditions that I'm looking at. And then based on what the homes are worth, and I looked at all that too. And I put in my comps, like, so a really good investor, when you're talking to them, they're going to give you their feedback.
They're going to help you.
They will. And
They're
help
on
you
your team.
learn.
It's not like a mortgage company where they seemingly mad
like
at you all
stamp
the time.
and go, nope.
Yeah.
And just send you on your way. You're like, what happened? What was it? Was my credit score? Did I not have enough in the bank? What is it? They
That
don't
stuff
know.
goes into a computer. You know, they audit, basically desk audit you to see if you're worth the risk. Nothing like that happens here.
No, it's all about
It's
the
like
deal.
2 people, yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote back and I said, here's this good, here's the comps. So here's a comp I love, here's a comp I hate, and this is what I'm worried about. What could happen? So then I also wrote back steps of what to do. I'm like, reach out to a local agent, give me their feedback, because I might change my number, based on what they say. So, so I have 3 points I still want to make today. One of them is the biggest one, about using your own money for land deals might be slowing you down. We know of what we speak because it slowed us down. We did that wrong.
It stopped
We,
us multiple
for,
times.
I mean, probably for over 20 years, we were hanging our hats on not using other people's money and not borrowing money, which was good. I really like that. I mean, when we launched Land Academy, if you remember back in 2015, that was one of the things, like, no leverage. We didn't borrow anything. We did all on our own. Yeah, I had to, like, sell this to buy that, sell that. It was tricky and a lot of work, but we did it. However, I wish we would have not borrowed. Never borrow. I'm not a fan. Don't go get a credit card. That's never what we're into. But I wish we would have used other people's money, because that jumps to my point number 3, which is, where would we be today? Could you imagine?
With what? Oh, yeah.
Oh, if we had jumped in right now, like, think of the deals that we couldn't
Well,
didn't pull the trigger
paint a
on
picture.
fast enough.
Let me paint a picture. The real net effect of this is that it's human nature, especially in an entrepreneur's mind, to chase opportunity based on their means. So if you have $55,000 in the bank, you're probably going to send out mail, maybe subconsciously, for buy for $30,000. Yeah, I'm comfortable spending $30,000. Try to sell for 60 or 80 or whatever the numbers end up being, largely because of your available balance.
Bank balance, yeah.
So what would have happened, what Jill's talking about with us, is that once you lift those mental barriers, we would have been out in the 90s buying farmland in the middle of Phoenix, and getting it partnershiped or financed and rolling it back out to companies that are doing subdivisions and all of that. And I've done deals like that, not on my own, with partners and all that stuff. So it's very feasible and possible even today to get a deal done like that. So the real tragedy is that it's just a real slow growth scenario. And this brings it into a more 21st century private equity type model, where somebody's funding you, somebody slams $14 million, let's say, because they love your business idea, and now you're their partner, and you spend down on that money until you have a revenue stream. And they took a gamble on you, you took one on them, and you can move seriously forward. That is what is possible here.
Isn't that funny? Like, that model, to me, I don't like that model.
I don't like that either, but it is current and prevalent. And
do you hear that a lot, for real?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's
like,
Palo Alto's packed full.
Oh well, yeah,
like
okay,
that.
And that thing. But I'm like, but in our world, maybe I'm communicating with different people, but like, I don't usually say to somebody, here's $1 million, go spend it, and come
that's
back.
What they do.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, this is the way that I like doing it, and I'm really comfortable with, which is, whatever deal you come back with, I'll look at it. I guess then I don't limit people too. I'm not like, we're not going to run out of money, because they're all amazing deals.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to push you to spend it all just to spend it, which is scary to me, kind of thing. Just like, put it into something. I don't want that.
If you have $100 million allocated, this is peanuts for many private equity companies or family office companies, and you decide to piece it out into $2 million, you're going to take a chance, because you don't care about the $100 million. Just like you and I probably wouldn't care about $100,000.
True.
And you piece it all out, and all it takes is one. It takes one startup to become Canva or Stripe or anything else, and it's worth all that. And that's people that have. It's very, very prevalent. So
that's gambling, kind of.
It is. That's
okay.
the mind. That's the mindset of people who, to some degree, people who want to be your partner to do your land deals. and most of the time a much smaller scale.
Why? What's wrong with me then? I don't look at it like that.
Because you're not a gambler, thank God.
Oh, that's
and
true.
neither am I, which is why we're in the land business.
True.
We would be in a different business if we were huge risk takers. I don't see...
Yeah, I'm not.
We've talked about this on the air and many, many times with each other. I see buying and selling land as zero risk.
Correct.
I have complete control over what deals I do and what deals that I don't do.
Correct.
And I have complete control on how many deals I have done in our pipeline by how much mail I send out. So, you know, the worst thing that can happen is that you send a bunch of mail out, you don't get the quality of transactions that you anticipated. So what do? You send more mail out, maybe in a different area, and you just keep moving forward. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good talk. That's true. Like, let's talk about that for just a second. That is the worst thing. The worst thing that could happen, you spend all the money on the mail and everything up front, and then you don't act on it, whether it's you or the deal. Or
I love
you're nervous.
that. You know, what happens is, I love that, Jill. So what happens is not often, but once in a while, people say, I sent out 8,000 offers, nothing happened. Well, what happened is you didn't do anything.
Correct.
You know, you didn't pull a Jill. You didn't Jillify it.
True.
You didn't pull a Jill. Get on the phone with all the people that called you back and create with the seller a real estate deal where there wasn't one 15 minutes ago.
Exactly.
So it's not the mailer that didn't work, it's you.
Yeah, that's a lot. And most people, when you sit and talk about it, because I've done this and coach people, they're like, yeah, I didn't return those calls. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? How many calls did you miss?
We've heard it all.
Things did you miss?
We've heard it all in the last 10 years. You really
have to, especially in today's environment, it's even more important to dig deeper and find out and ask all those questions. Don't poo-poo my little inbound seller's checklist. Look at it, read it, ask those questions like, what else do you have? Is there anything else, you know, what's going on? That kind of a thing. It's really important, and you'll find out if there's a deal there or not.
That's
quickly.
the secret in this business. That's the secret, you know, back behind some big black curtain somewhere.
Like
secret.
Oz.
The secret is you have to do the real estate deal. There's money, to get back on the topic, there's money everywhere if you have that personality type. If you are somebody who's a career sales, like a corporate salesperson like Jill, or maybe you have just a decade of really surviving and thriving in some version of a customer service environment, which sounds like a nightmare to me, but there's some people that thrive on that. If you have that personality type and that type of experience, you will just do amazing here.
Because you can communicate on the phone. You can build a rapport with somebody quickly. That's the point.
Money people will flock to you. The data people like me will flock to you because that's not my forte. It's Jill's personality type.
Well, I'm going to argue and say you're good at that. Because remember, you've had jobs over the years.
I did Jill's job. And
other jobs where you
well.
could bring in people. You win people over all the time.
I can do Jill's job.
Yeah.
I'm not anywhere near as well. But if I sat down and really thought about it, I did it for a long time. And, you know, there's food out there.
Here's what happens.
Okay.
Wait, this is truth time. If we did this, we did a little, like half the calls go to you, half the calls go to me. You know, doesn't matter what the end result would be, but you would hang up and go, oh my God, that was so hard. You would do great. You would talk to him, you'd win him over, you'd meet the sweet little lady, I think.
I agree with everything.
Let's say
totally agree.
He could do that. He could make her feel really good and everything, and then he'd walk away going, oh my God.
I got to do something else for a living.
I can never do
That's
that
what I'd
again.
say.
And I'd walk away going, that was fun. You want to do that again tomorrow? And you'd be like, oh no, shoot me.
This is totally true.
Yeah, see? So yeah, trust me, there are people like, you know, every day in your world, every day in the grocery store, whatever it is, he's like, God, that was hard to talk to that person. I'm like, you look like a natural. He goes, I hated it. Hated it. But I needed to get fill in the blank, you know, from the marine shop. And this was the only guy that had it.
That's
he was standing between me and that.
He's taking out the boat today.
You know what it was? Like the anchor guy. The anchor guy was weird. He was giving you advice about stuff you really know. Why, you know, that was, I think he was making small talk, and you're like, just, can you ring it up, please?
I don't know if you've ever been in the marine community, I have my entire life.
This is good.
Sometimes more often, sometimes less often. I grew up in Michigan. It's always been around boats and the whole thing, but we're in it now, you know, on the Pacific Ocean with lifers. And it's just a different personality type.
Yeah.
I really like it, but it's quirky.
It's
Nothing's
very quirky.
online. There's no real rules.
No,
So
yeah.
we just got an additional boat slip for a smaller boat. And I've never seen a transaction go down like this in my entire life. It's taken about 2 months. First thing they did was say, sure, here's the keys.
No problem.
We'll
Come
get
on
you the
over.
paperwork. And then 3 weeks go by. So it's not, and I'm laughing about this. I'm just not used to doing things like this. You know, and Jill's like, oh yeah, this is how it works in Southern California.
Yeah. Don't they need something? No, they'll get it from you. They trust you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's like, what?
What about insurance? Oh, it'd be good if you had it.
That's awesome. I love it.
So then what does Jill do? She gets on the phone with our insurance company
Oh, yes.
for this big boat,
Oh, this is
for
good.
this big 50-foot boat. And the insurance person says, who I think is the owner of the, you know, the insurance agency. Oh yeah, that's included.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We got you.
Where in the contract is it included?
Do you want me to note it in
I
here?
I don't know. You can read it if you want, but you're covered. Who says that?
I know.
Who says, oh yeah, you're covered?
Yeah, don't worry about it. We got you.
You know, a lot of that, and all kidding aside, bringing it back to this topic, a lot of that is because, you know, Jill, whether it's conscious or subconscious, chose that insurance company because of that person.
Oh, I did.
Based on a personal connection with, yeah, whatever we want, we're going to get it.
Yeah,
And it's not going to be crazy expensive.
true.
So it's all relationships with her. And if you're a relationship type person, you're going to do great at this or anything really that you try.
Well, that's what you're doing with these sellers, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
doing with buyers, and that's what I'm doing with agents, and that's how I get stuff done. It really is true. So the main thing to me, the last point, about, using your own money, why it's slowing you down. It is slowing you down. I speak from experience about growth and size of deals, number of deals, all of that. I could have done more, faster, better, had I right out of the gate dove in and had it available to me. I didn't have it all at the very beginning, and that's okay. I'm very proud of what we did and how we did it, and we got here now.
You're going to have to do something, and you're going to have to get really good at something, and you're going to have to have a relationship with people doing something. So you can do it being a bartender, you can do it for private equity, or you can do it and buy and sell land at your own pace with somebody else's money. That's the real theme here. Hopefully it's our money. I would love to throw a bunch of money at all your great real estate deals today. Love to.
Thank you.
Moving on, let's see what you, the land community, are working on.
Okay, we have some questions here. First, we have a win. Oh, this is awesome. Eric G. of Land Academy shared he partnered with another member on a 15-acre parcel.
There you go.
Bought for $30,000 and then sold for $72,000.
So this is perfect on topic.
Great.
Yeah, this is perfect on topic.
Congrats, Eric.
This person probably didn't put $1 into the deal. They just got the mail, put the deal all together, and resold it. I don't know if he's a manager or the partner, the money partner. You know what? I got to tell you a story really quick.
Good point. We're not sure which one he is. He could have been the bank.
Jill and I, about around 2018 or 19, rented a house in a small beach community outside of Los Angeles. And we got to know the guy that owned the house because it was like, we got an amazing price on it, again, because Jill befriended this guy and he became our friend.
Yeah.
And so after talking to him, and it was the nicest house on the beach, the largest, nicest house. We got a great price on it, moved in and happily lived there for, I don't know, more than probably a couple of years. So I finally asked this guy, what did you do for a living that made this all possible? And he said, this is what I do. I find people who are mega wealthy that are billionaires. And I ask them this sentence, what's going wrong in your life, in your professional life right now? And he said, in about 13 seconds, they're going to tell you, well, I need a different acquisition for this. I have, these are grown-up rich people problems.
Yep.
I have $180 million over here, literally, doesn't make any money. And I need to place it into an environment because I have another partner on a deal who demands that we do a 30 to 40% return, something like that. And so this guy went to work solving that problem and charged a lot. He sold Chrysler to 𝐟𝐸𝐾. That's the level where he is. And he drives around in an old pickup truck.
Yeah.
He's the nicest guy ever. And we could call him right now and say, when we have some stuff going on, he would be, I'll be over there in a minute.
Yeah.
So it's all your mindset. And that's the same thing with these real estate deals. You could be buying farmland in, the three largest, highest growth communities for new housing are Arizona, southeastern Nevada, mostly Las Vegas, and then many parts of Florida. And there's huge swaths of land in these environments, and the owners know what they have. So if you are like a Jill, you start contacting these people. It's a small database, probably 500 or 600, maybe 1,000 pieces of land in those three areas. Get to know everybody. The money's there.
Exactly.
Today we have a few questions from you and on our Land Academy Discord community.
Excellent. We have 3 today. Okay. Question number 1. Jess wrote, I've heard you talk a lot about what qualities make a good land investor, but what qualities make a bad investor or someone less likely to succeed?
This is my favorite question in months. Here's why you would suck as a land investor. That's a whole topic.
That's
I love
good.
these negative topics.
This is good. Maybe next
Our
week we'll do a
staff-
podcast like, this is why people suck.
This is why you're bad at this. I love these topics, and my staff shoots them down, Jill shoots them down. And so anyway,
All right.
if you don't have any patience, and if you don't have any patience, you're heading it for a tough life. That's just, lack of patience is not good.
Hope you don't have a woman if you have no patience.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not going to last. Go ahead.
Lack of patience, lack of competence. Lack of competence is, I can't even imagine what could have been possible if you go take a competence class. Take a seminar. I don't care who you are.
Okay.
I don't care who you are. The most competent person in the world, you should be constantly improving on that. That holds people back. I think that being a technical person, like a STEM type person, is helpful, but not necessary because Jill's not. But where she lacks that, she makes up for it in personality and personal relationships. So you need to be good at something like this, and you need to understand that there's some upfront costs in doing the mail. This isn't free.
I think you have to have, probably it goes with confidence. You just have to take those steps. Every time I have a coaching call and people are like, I'm not getting it, or I'm not doing, what are you doing today? Nothing.
Well,
Reviewing deals again. Like, stop it. Stop it. Stop. You can't run the red, yellow, green test 25 times in the same zip code and expect a different outcome. You pick the best ones and you move on and do it. But then the phone's going to ring. And then you're going to answer it.
Then the phone's going to ring.
And you're going to answer it. But then what am I going to have to talk to these people? And you're going to talk to them. And then I'm going to have to figure out how to fund the deal. And you're going to do that too.
That's what owning a business is.
So a bad investor is someone that takes no action, does nothing, stands on the sidelines and watches everybody else and wishes they were there. Your
calendar for this, not your life and not your real job, but your calendar for this should be jam-packed. You should be working 12, and if you're brand new, 12 to 15 hours a day on this.
I agree with that. And I want to say with it jam-packed, it's because they're little tasks. Don't say, buy an amazing property today. That's not going to happen. But if you have all the little tasks in the next 2 weeks of get the mail out, pick the best this, and cut yourself off, then do your test for reason, let her rip, get the calls coming in, do the due diligence, send it to somebody to fund it. Next thing you know, you have an agent selling your property, and you're like, wow, I can do that.
This doesn't happen too much anymore. But when we started this, because we were the only, I'm just going to be real direct here. I started all this. I started this business of buying and selling land and sending out offers and all of that. There's a ton of people out on the internet that copied it, but I am the original, period.
Yes, you are.
And I don't see that I don't say that to pat myself on the back. I'm just saying when we started this, what happened in 2015, I guess it was, Land Academy.
Land Academy.
there are a lot of doubters. There are a lot of people like, what? They question our business model. They question us. You know, we got called names like guru and stuff. And so that doesn't happen anymore. But once in a while, it will get back to us and somebody will say, this doesn't work. And to which I have to say,
what did you do?
Jill and I have done 16,000 transactions. You know, we live on the back of a yacht. We have people that are making more money than we are in our group all the time contacting us, thanking us for changing their lives. So how does this not work? What they're really saying is it doesn't work for me.
Right. That's good. All right, now we have a question from our Facebook group. Tanya wrote, this is a total Jack one too. I've heard you talk on other podcasts about the importance of good data. Can you elaborate on that, on why that matters?
I'm qualified to answer this.
Yes, you are.
Here's an example of good data, and I'll give an example of bad data.
Thank you.
Really bad data. The good data is what we use a data source, and you should be using it too, called,
Data tree?
Data tree. Senior moment. And what they do that makes it so great is that you're actually accessing a continually updated database. So data tree is a data aggregator. Like there's only 2 or 3 of them in the country that are worthwhile. And they are linked into the county assessors. There's 3,144 taxing authorities or county assessors that collect taxes. And so they have a tax roll and they manage it, and it's a data set. Each one of them have a data set. They're all in different formats. So the value that data tree brings is that they put it in a usable format for people like us. That's an example of a great data set. An example of bad data, and it happens not so much anymore, but it happened all the time, was where anybody who ever says, I have a list, run away.
Oh, yeah.
The word list shouldn't work.
You
should be accessing a real-time database that's constantly in real time being improved with the changes that happen.
Every time an ownership change, and that's the main thing that you do. So
the reason is we're only as good as that data. That's how we make acquisition decisions, based on all the data that we're staring at.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
We guessed a lot before that. I used to, I started all this long before Google Earth or Zillow or any of the, even data tree. I used to go to the county and pay $50 or some number and get a CD and go back to my car or into some place in the county and put it in a notebook computer and figure out what their data set actually looked like. Sometimes it would be on a green printout, a green IBM printout.
It was like,
and I would manually have to enter.
Dot matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dot matrix printer.
Yep, I remember that. We can all, if you know what I'm talking about, and you can hear that printer right now.
Yeah.
I know how old you are, and you know how old I am.
And I'll tell you what. Those were not the good old days.
Mm-mm.
You hear a lot of older people
True.
say, oh, back in my day, this happened, and it was amazing, but everything sucks now. It's exact opposite for us.
It's easier now.
Jill and I make way more money than we ever have.
It's so much easier.
It's easier. The tools are better. The way computers are, only the advancement in technology helps us, not hurt us.
Exactly.
You just have to keep up with it.
Totally. Okay, our third question, this is interesting.
This is a Jill question.
Came from our Facebook group. Waverly wrote, how do you handle jealous family members?
I've been dealing with this my entire life.
Don't.
Not just family members, everybody. Well, let me paint the picture.
Go ahead.
You're friends with somebody for a long time. Let's say you went to high school, or let's say it's your sister. And then everybody's in the same boat. We all got jobs, we're doing this stuff. So one day you decide to join Land Academy, and then about 8 months later, you have a new car, your house is paid off, and your wife's happy. And she's never been happy before.
Because she got to quit her job.
Yeah. Is that going to make your lifelong friend or your sister a little upset? Yes.
Probably.
Yes. You might have to get a new social situation.
Yeah, that happens.
It happens to this day.
I do my best to, it sucks? It's like, I want to help everybody. I want to go, you can do it too. But they go, no, I don't want to. I'll go, what am I supposed to do? Am I just move in with me? Move in. We're going to make this, I got you too. No. I'm not doing that.
What they're really going to say too is some version of this. Really? You made it look so easy. Hey, how about I give you $10,000 and then 6 months from now you give me 20,000 back?
Nope.
I can't
do that with
count the
me.
number of times.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore, but people would come up to me and just say, I want in on it, but I do not want to do any work.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't get that. I know. You're right. That's so funny. So it's a tough one, but it does happen.
So the question is, how do you handle it?
Yeah.
You get new family members and get new friends.
Yeah.
It's not solvable.
It's not. You know what? If they can't be supportive and loving of you and excited for you, and then what I do in return is like, hey, we're all going. I'm paying. Do you want to come?
Yeah.
We're all going out to dinner.
Yep.
Do you want to come? We're all going to Disneyland.
It's a great solution, Joe.
Do you want to come? And I pay and I share it, but I'm not going to say, don't worry about all your kids' college education. I got this.
You know what, love? That's how you handle it. That's the healthiest thing I've heard in a while. That's what you do.
And you don't rub their noses in it.
Yeah, exactly. You share.
Yeah. You don't walk up every day and go, guess what I just bought? You don't do that. But you do that. So yeah, cool. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about today is, I want to let you know a big thing. I'm so excited. Word is still getting out about Deal Complete. I love it. If you are struggling with picking an area or pricing, downloading the data, getting a pretty mailer together, getting it in the mail, the money involved, all of that, you are missing out. You got to check out Deal Complete. Go to dealcomplete.com. It is a land investor's, as close as you can get to it. I hate to use the word easy button, but I'm going to use the word easy button because there's so many things in there that you designed and our team carefully and thoughtfully put together that actually work to get a lot of the minutia out of your land investment day in your life. This is part of why we're sitting on this boat. I'm going to tell you right now, we are having so much fun right now, goofing off more because so much of our work is off our plates. And that's what Deal Complete is. It's
an end-to-end solution.
It is.
And it removes all the spreadsheets and all the real hardcore data processing that used to be my job. This really utilizes a lot of tools, including AI.
Yeah, if you're afraid of spreadsheets, you're afraid of scrubbing, you're afraid of, like I said, the pricing, go to dealcomplete.com and do dealcomplete.com/ebook. Just put that out.
Yep.
And it really will explain a lot of what I'm talking about. And you're going to go, all right, I need to get my hands on this. Freedom members.
Hey, if you like the episode, please drop a comment. If you share a win or a question, we might feature it on next week's episode.
And next week, we're going to talk about how to think like a land investor instead of an employee.
Oh.
That's good.
I think that's
a good topic.
It's an integral part of, you could do that by just being enraged. Like, I'm an enraged W-2 employee and I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm going to actually run this thing myself. That's the whole episode. You don't have to tune in next week.
What the heck? I'm so sorry. I got to say this. Your mind, sometimes I don't know what's coming. That was a good one. That's really good. Does Jack surprise you? Oh, every day. Every day. There's a surprise that Jack just drops. There's a little nugget.
Don't knock rage. Rage can be your friend.
Awesome. By the way, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.